started. Hello, everybody. It's Saturday night. Welcome to the Jonathan Ross Show. Come on, let's sit down. Come on. So, does anyone here go dating online? Anyone ever met anyone online? Because meeting someone online can be fraught with peril. This relationship, I can't help feeling, is doomed to failure. It involves Amanda Whittaker from Leeds. You might have heard about this. She says she's fallen in love with the Statue of Liberty. That's absolutely true. Amanda was sent a pic of the statue online. It was love at first sight. I would say be careful. Because you've got to travel all the way to America, and I know how these things are. The statue won't look anything like that when you get there, OK? You might wonder why she's fallen for Lady Liberty. Well, she's on the rebound from a sailor. The big news this week is that a load of models were stranded on Eurostar trains for up to 11 hours as they made their way home from Paris Fashion Week. Did you see this? Models were stuck on the train 11 hours without food. They couldn't have been happier. They're all booked for the return trip. Now, this is exciting. Britain has chosen its Eurovision singer for 2012. Do you like a bit of Eurovision? Of course you do. We are putting our trust in this fresh-faced, thrusting young star. Here he is. That's our Eurovision. That's the face of the future, ladies and gentlemen. 75-year-old Engelbert Humperdinck. And Engelbert's had a wonderful career. He's had a wonderful career. When he last had a hit, Eurovision was won by Prussia. That was the last hit. Every week I like to show you a cute clip. Are you ready for your cute clip of the week, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah! This one I'm calling Baby Eating a Watermelon, or maybe I'll call it Watermelon Eating a Baby. You decide.
Look at
that. Look at that. Isn't that sweet? And the good news is that child has just had 900 of its 5 a day. The only way that could be better for him is if it was a giant Kinder egg instead. Let's see who's on the show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. My first guest was the star of the definitive action series of modern times, 24. It's Mr. Kiefer Sutherland. There he is. He's come all the way from America to be with us for this evening. Thank you, Kiefer. Can I just check something with you, Kiefer, before we have a chat out here? Is it true that you do not like to wear underwear?
I think you're probably talking about my father, and I can tell you a longer story about that later. But I have been known to, on a day or two, to go without underwear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could we inquire whether today might be one of those lucky days?
Not one of those days.
Not one of those days. I'd just like to know what I'm going to be looking at later on. That's all that is. Mr. Kiefer Sutherland, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Now, I could not be more excited about my next guest. She was the star of one of the biggest grossing films of all time, the massive smash hit movie Mamma Mia. It's Amanda Seyfried. The lovely Amanda Seyfried. Amanda's currently here in town working on a new version of the musical, the film version of Les Miserables.
Les Miserables.
Oh, well, thank you very much indeed. Les Miserables. Famously based on the songs of Morrissey, I believe.
Yeah, because that's exactly what we're doing.
Amanda Seyfried, ladies and gentlemen. Who also speaks much better French than me, clearly. My next guest is one of our greatest ever cricketers. It is Mr. Freddie Flintoff. Freddie. Look how handsome Freddie is. Freddie, as I hope you know, he famously won the Ashes for England. OK? He has scared more Australians than Shane Warne's passport photo. What do you think of Shane's look these days, Freddie?
It's different, isn't it? It's like Benjamin Button, isn't it? He's getting... he's getting younger.
Freddie Flintoff, ladies and gentlemen. There he is. And here's something super exciting for you this Saturday night. We have music from the fabulous talent that is Mr. Paul Weller. Great to see you here, Paul. Nice to be here. Some call Paul the original Mod Father. That's one of the names you get given, isn't it, Paul?
Yes, yeah, one of the more generous ones, yeah.
The Mod Father. Although I've got to say, I thought Mod Father 2 was better. And don't even talk about Mod Father 3, that was rubbish. Paul Weller, ladies and gentlemen, there he is. Great to have you here, Paul. I'm thrilled you're here. OK. Before we get on with that, let me just show you this, because I had a great offer this week. I was made a lord this week, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, yeah. I know lot of you maybe thought I already had a title. People think I'm a count. I get that shouted at me all the time in the street. But anyway, I've been given 1 square foot of land in the Highlands, and to prove it, this certificate, this is absolutely genuine, look at that. This is prestigious. They don't just hand these out to anyone. If you want to find my plot, it's next to the 4th Earl of Hasselhoff and 2 down from Lord Dappy of Dagenham. Here's what it's all about. It's a charity thing to help preserve the beauty of the Caledonian forest. And it's a worthwhile cause. They give you a foot and they say they'll plant a tree. I own that 1 square foot. I'm not going to plant a tree. This is what I'm going to do with it. There's got to be something down there. Let's get my first guest out. As the star of 24, he saved the world 8 times. Take that, Bono. Will you please welcome the fabulous Mr. Kiefer Sutherland? Mr. Kiefer Sutherland.
Thank you.
Great to have you here. That's quite a reaction as well.
Thank you very, very much for having me.
You know, it's welcome back to London, but in a way, I guess this is your home because you, I don't know how many people know this, Kiefer was born here, weren't you?
I was born here in Paddington at St. Mary's Hospital.
Wow.
And I lived... Funny story, actually. I was here, I had a small record label, and one of the artists on that label was doing a small tour around the UK. And we were doing a documentary about it, and I went with one of the camera crews and tried to show them where I was born. And we took the subway or the tube to Paddington Station. We got off, and right there was a sign saying St. Mary's Hospital this way. And I walked back, and it was the first time I'd seen it in 30-some-odd years. Wow. And I'm standing there, and I look up, and I say, that's where I was born. And at that moment, a wrecking ball came and took out the whole south wall of the hospital, and next to the other sign was St. Mary's moving across the street. And so I got to see it on its last day.
In the nick of time?
Yeah.
OK, let's get 24 out of the way. Who didn't love the series 24? Wasn't that just, well, the number of series 24? What a great condition. Congratulations. 10 years of your life you spent making
Well, it took 10 years to make. We did 8 seasons. And, yeah, it was one of the most extraordinary experiences of my life, and certainly, I think, the most important experience I've had in my career. I think we made the equivalent of 100 films. We did 200 episodes, 200 hours.
Wow.
And that's a career in itself. When I started working as an actor, we were told the best thing you could do is kind of model your career after someone like Robert De Niro, which would do 1 film every 3 or 4 years.
And very different parts, I guess, as well.
Yes, and for a young actor, I don't suggest that. The great experience of 24 and what I learned from it was like if I wanted to be an Olympic runner, I would train every day. And it gave me the ability to work every day as an actor.
Yeah.
And it gave me a kind of confidence that I don't think I had as an actor before. So it was really one of the best things that could ever have happened to me.
Do you ever find yourself slipping into Jack Bauer during the day, something goes on, you go, damn it? You know,
No, I don't go damn it.
You're searching for your mobile phone and changing the
No,
back
I do the feature film version in my head all the time.
So, is that happening, the feature film? Because that's been talked about for a while.
We've been working on it for a very long time. There's so many components, but we have a script that we're very excited about. We're talking to directors that we're excited about. I'm doing a new show called Touch, and so the window that I have between when we finish the first season and would start the second season is very small. So we're trying as hard as we can to get it done this year.
You'd like to see a film of 24, wouldn't you, ladies and gentlemen?
Thank you. 9 of them do. They really do.
No, I'm really excited about it. I really hope it happens. Well, you mentioned Touch. Touch starts on Sky on March the 20th, I think. Very different kind of role for you. I mean, I hope it's a big hit as well.
It is a very different role, except there is one common denominator. I play a father of a special needs child. He is misdiagnosed with autism. But my son, I cannot touch him, otherwise he'll go crazy. He does not speak. It's a story that revolves around the two of us. The show is patterned after a Chinese fable called The Red Thread. And the fable goes that everybody who is supposed to come in contact with each other over the course of a lifetime is loosely connected by a red thread. And the thread can bend and it can stretch, but it can't break. And somehow we as a society have broken this thread. And my son, who is deeply evolved, can see this thread through numbers and patterns and uses me to try and put the thread back together. And each episode, we will deal with 5 storylines that surround the world and how one little circumstance between he and I in the United States can affect someone in India or Pakistan or Africa or the UK.
I guess finding the right young actor to play your son was pretty crucial to this.
It was it. I mean, if we couldn't find that young actor, the show wouldn't have worked. And I was doing a play on Broadway, and I think I read with 35 young actors between the ages of 9 and 11. And I would have to do them in kind of spots of 8 or 10 at a time. And the first kid that I read with, and I'm not joking, because he doesn't speak at all, but when I would look into his eyes, he would break my heart. And I thought, wow. And he did things that were just physically that were fantastic. And I kept thinking, if all the kids are going to be like this, we're going to find an amazing kid. And I went through the 10 kids that day, and all of the kids were fantastic for different reasons. But I had a very special connection with this one. And at the end of that first day, I thought, no, the first kid was still the best. And then at the end of the second day, 20 more kids. It was like, you guys should really just hire the first kid.
Yeah.
And at the end of the next 30 kids, I was like, hire the first kid. We're done. We're done. And it's been amazing.
Let's have a look. This is a clip from Touch, and you see this young guy. He is remarkable on screen, and the chemistry between the two of you is clearly there, so I can see what you're talking about. This starts Tuesday the 20th of March on Sky HD. Look at this.
Wow, you're a quiet one, aren't you? Hello, Jacob. I'm Clea.
I wouldn't do that if I were you. Unless you want to spend the next 3 hours peeling him off the ceiling. He doesn't let anybody touch him, not even me. I would take it personally.
Hey, is that a dinosaur puzzle?
Oh my God. The numbers. The numbers. 87, 1, 9, 20, 31, 11.
Just a ball.
Last night, all these phones went on. They had numbers on them. These numbers. Look. Winning numbers for the lotto. How would he know?
There you go. He got the lottery numbers. That's all you need.
Quit right there.
Yeah, you get a kid who can win the lottery for you. You're there. I'd like to ask you a bit. Are you still friends with Charlie Sheen?
I know Charlie, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ask you about Charlie after the break. We're going to take a break.
Cheers.
I'm going to ask Keith about Charlie Sheen after this. Don't go away. Welcome back. I'm still here with Mr. Kiefer Sutherland, ladies and gentlemen. Kiefer's still here. Kiefer, just before the break, I said I knew you were a friend back in the day with Charlie Sheen. You're still in touch with Charlie? Charlie, how is Charlie doing these days?
Well, we worked together a lot. We did a film together called Young Guns, and we
Great
did a film together called Three Musketeers, and I always loved Charlie.
Yeah.
Charlie is one of the funniest people I've ever met. Certainly, I was in Sweden when all of the stuff happened with him and Two and a Half Men.
The event occurred, yeah.
And you know, I'd be lying if I didn't say that people were certainly concerned. I saw Charlie, who's actually getting ready to do another show. And I saw him at a press function when we were starting to launch Touch, and he looked great. You know, he had a little giggle about kind of all of the hysteria and everything, and he said, I think I might have misread that one. And I said, well, maybe a little bit. But, you know, to me, Charlie has always been a really, really, really nice guy. And he certainly has very strong opinions. And, you know, I wish him well all the time.
Yeah, he ever give you any tiger blood to drink?
No, he spared me the tiger blood. What I can say about Charlie is what I know of Charlie and the time that I've spent with him. He's a very loyal friend. He's a good guy. And, you know, and we all have hiccups down the road.
Yeah, and he's hopefully through that now.
And I hope so, too.
But I find it hard to believe that you're a grandfather.
I am, yes.
Several times over, I believe.
Yeah, I have 2 grandsons. Thank you very much. Thank you. My oldest daughter married a young Scotsman from Glasgow named Adam Sinclair, who I actually was doing a film with when they met. And I was taking care of my younger daughter, and I made the terrible mistake of asking Adam to take my older daughter around the island in Hawaii where we were working, thinking that he would be scared of me and not kiss her. And
he's from Glasgow. What did you expect?
Yeah, I know. I should have known better.
Yeah.
And anyways, the 2 of them fell in love, and they've been married for about 8 years now.
Wow.
And I have one grandson. His name is Hamish, which no one in California can pronounce. and the other one is Quinn. Yeah.
How nice. And do they call you Grandpa, Gramps?
Well, it's really funny. Between Adam's Scottish accent and my daughter's Californian accent, Grandpa or Grampy went to Grumpy. And so he calls me Grumpy. And then when he finally realized what that meant, he thought it was hysterical, so he still calls me grumpy.
And are you a grumpy grampy sometimes?
No, I'm not, I think. I think I get a lot of this from my oldest daughter, which is, I wish you were this much fun when you were raising me. But no, they're amazing. They really are. And Hamish is now almost, he's 6.5, almost 7. And where I'm shooting Touch, they live literally around the block. And so when he finishes school, he comes to work with me, and we hang out. And he just absolutely adores the young boy playing Jake, my son. So it's been a fantastic time.
Okay, and now here's something exciting which I found out about Keith. Were you a rodeo champion, or you took part in a rodeo championship?
I rodeoed in the USTRC, which is the United States Team Roping Championships, and it's a circuit. And I rodeoed with a guy named John English, and I did that for about 6 years.
Wow.
Went to the national finals for the USTRC in '94, and I believe in '96. The first rodeo I won was in Arizona.
So you won a rodeo?
I won a few, yeah, but that was the very first one.
And so you can ride, but at the moment, if we were to say to you, could you ride a cow or bull right now, would you be up for that, or would there be reasons why you couldn't do that?
Well, I would be absolutely not up for it.
Oh.
I was shooting a film with Woody Harrelson, and we were, excuse me, we shot in New Mexico, and it was a thing called the Cowboy Way. And we shot in New Mexico, and then we were going to New York to shoot the rest of the film. And it was our last night in New Mexico, and we went to this big old cowboy bar. And it was a bunch of guys that I had rodeoed with. And the kid who was running the bull had said, hey, you know, my girlfriend's back there. It would be so cool for me if I could just run the bull with you on it. And we'd had a few drinks, and I don't think that's a very good idea. And he said, oh, please, man, it would mean so much to me. And I said, okay, fine. So I get on it, and I didn't realize how much he wanted to show off to his girlfriend. So I strapped in, and I'm just being very relaxed about it. And he goes, whack, whack. My head hit the bull in the front. Then in the back, I broke 2 fingers, and I split my pants from the crotch all the way up to the back of my belt. And it was one of the nights I wasn't wearing underwear.
Wow.
And so it was the longest exit out of a bar I've ever had, because I had to get the 2 pieces of jean clenched in my bottom and literally had to walk out like that.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Had to be like, good to see you all, yeah.
Yeah.
And then got my fingers fixed,
Wow.
so I managed to keep it all intact.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you'd agree, what a lovely guest. The new show is called Touch. It's great fun. I saw the first episode. It's intriguing, it's engaging. It looks like it's going to shake up to be a great series. I'm really looking forward to the rest of them.
Thank you very much.
You must be feeling good about it.
I'm very excited to be able to show it to people.
It's great to have you back here. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kiefer Sutherland.
Thank you very much.
Great stuff, thank you. Well, you can relax for a second while we watch the commercials. Thank you, Keith. Join us after the break. I'll be chatting to Freddie Flintoff, Amanda Seyfried will be here, and we have music from Paul Weller. Don't go away. Welcome back. Now, there's a new website that shows real pictures that estate agencies have used to sell houses, okay? And this is my favourite. A genuine picture the estate agent put online to sell this house. So you see that, you think that's a lovely kind of dressing table area there, but then you look closer, what's going on in the right-hand side of the picture? Oh, yeah. The house still hasn't sold, but it's set a record for viewings. Okay? Let's get my next guest out. She's one of the finest actresses in Hollywood right now, but who can forget how she wowed us all in the fabulous Guilty Pleasure, Mamma Mia. Look at this.
Honey, honey, how he thrills me. Honey, honey. Honey, honey, nearly kills me. Honey, honey. I heard about him before. I wanted to know some more. And now I know what they mean. He's a love machine. Oh, he makes me dizzy.
Bit of Mamma Mia for you. Here she is. It's the charming and beautiful Amanda Seyfried, ladies and gentlemen. Lovely to meet you. Come and have a sit down and relax, get comfortable. Amanda here. How nice to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, it's been a long trip.
Oh, yeah. Where from?
I was just in the green room
Oh,
back
I see.
there.
Okay. Hey, Mamma Mia, who imagined that would be the success it was? I mean, that just went crazy, didn't it?
I can't even believe what happened with that movie. I mean, it was a huge success on the stage for years and years and years. And, you know, ABBA, just, it's like, it's classic. I mean, that music just sits in your head for so long. You can't stop singing it under your breath. And after a while, we got really annoyed with it, especially because all I had in my head was Our Last Summer, sung by the lovely Colin Firth. Which he's, you know, he's good.
He's got the voice. He could have been worse. You could have had one of the ones that Pierce was singing in your head, because he...
Yeah, no, I did. I did have SOS in my head.
He kind of croaked him out, didn't he?
I thought he was really good.
He's lovely. He's lovely and charming, but you know he would never win a karaoke contest, would he? Here's the weird thing, though, and it's not weird, but I find it remarkable, is Mamma Mia is the highest-grossing musical film of all time.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know what's also really weird is that I just found out that, well, I worked on a movie, and this is a non sequitur, but I just did a movie about the porn industry, and Deep Throat, the movie, the feature-length film porn movie, actually grossed the same amount as Mamma Mia. Wow. We can talk about it later, though. Yeah. Wow. $600 million.
And that didn't even have Meryl Streep in it.
It just had vaginas and penises together in a room.
But you know what? Don't underestimate the appeal of those two performers.
You're right. It was a lot of good acting.
Well, I'll ask you about that, because this is a fascinating topic. Maybe we should talk about this now. This is the movie about the life of Linda Lovelace, who was in the movie Deep Throat, and that was kind of the first kind of porn movie that came out and became a kind of overground hit, so to speak. It was a...
Yeah, I mean, it's like porn is just sex, and they wanted to create this little world, this little film, and they added some scenes with some dialogue, and they added a storyline, and then the sex scenes would be like way too long, and it would be really, it was actually really uncomfortable, the whole thing. When I watched it, I was forced to. And I feel like they just wanted to do that because they wanted more people to come to the theater, and it worked.
Well, I was forced to watch it years ago as well, and but what's so odd, I thought, was how kind of dated it was. I mean, for a movie it made that huge amount of money.
Pubic hair.
Yeah, well, that's the... So you noticed there was more hair going on than you expected.
Yeah, there's a lot of hair. There's a lot of pubic hair, which I think actually looks really good, to be honest. What do you think, Kiefer?
Joking aside about that film, I'm looking forward to that film because it's a compelling and quite desperate story, the story of that woman's life.
That's the thing, it's a terrible story. When you say Linda Lovelace to somebody, most people will just imagine... Most people just know the idea of her. But her life story was so dark and so traumatic and violent, and she was kind of forced into this world, this porn world, and I feel like we're finally giving her a voice.
But it's great because you know, I can't think of a better young actress to play her, and also you have a great cast in it. You've got
we have the best cast.
Well, you did have Demi Moore for a while, and then she couldn't finish the film. Is that right? Or did she start even?
And that's the thing about it. It's like she was ill, so she couldn't show up. But when we found out she wasn't coming to work, we were just like, shit. But the fact is, she couldn't come, so we had to find somebody else. And so I emailed Sarah Jessica Parker.
So you just emailed someone and said, would you fill in?
Yeah, because I feel like when it comes from a personal point, I mean, everything's so businessy, and you have to find some kind of connection in this business if you want to get, if you want to get what you want. And I really, really love her, and so I just emailed her, and I think it worked. Well, something happened, and she came, she showed up a couple days later.
But that's a great part for her to have, because we're used to seeing her in slightly frothier kind of roles, aren't we? So for her to play something...
badass in this role.
I'm looking forward to that tremendously. Now, is this true that you have, I believe, that you have a collection or an interest in taxidermy, in stuffed animals?
Compared to yours, it's very small.
We're talking about the stuffed animals here. But you have, how many stuffed animals do you have?
I recently decided I was going to start building a parliament of owls, because I only have one. Her name's Beatrix. She's in New York. I never see her. But I have a horse, a miniature horse. It's a baby, so it's quite small. It's much bigger than my dog, but his name's Antoine. He's from Derol in Paris.
Where did you get the horse? Did someone buy the horse for you?
I bought him in Paris, and he was sitting with every kind of animal you could possibly imagine. Giraffes, zebras, elephants, like scorpions, bunny rabbits, and they were all sitting, and it was the most incredible installation, and that's when I decided that this was going to be a lifelong hobby.
So you're going to collect taxidermy?
Yeah, I like animals. When taxidermy is done well, it's an amazing piece of art, and I love animals, and they're very easy to take care of when they're dead.
Yeah. If I had the power to give you any of the men in the green room stuffed after their death, which one of those three would you want in your life?
Well, okay.
I mean, Paul is pretending not to be interested, but I think he wants him more than the rest. He'd look better
I would
stuffed.
give Paul to my sister, and I would give Kiefer to my publicist, because we have the
And
same
you'd keep
publicist.
Freddie for yourself?
Freddie, you've got...
Freddie looking all nonchalant. He loves the fact he won the taxidermy competition.
No, I'm saying I'm getting Paul and Kiefer stuffed.
Yeah, you don't want Freddie stuffed at all. You want to keep Freddie alive.
Well, I just don't... I mean, yeah, I guess I'd keep you for myself. Yep.
Wow.
I mean, I would taxidermy all of them and give them away as gifts. That's what I'm saying.
That sounds nice. That sounds nice. Well, I like to think that maybe we've achieved some kind of lovely situation here. All right, listen. You've made so many films I've enjoyed. There's a new movie out right now, and I hope people will go and see this and enjoy this as well. It's called Gone. Tell us about the story of this. What's the plot?
It's a lot of my face close up, just to warn you. But it's a thriller. It's a really good thriller.
Why would you say that? It's a lot of my face close up just to warn
you.
You
gotta know before you go in. You know what I mean?
You must know you're a very attractive young woman.
Thank you.
Well,
but
were you fishing for compliments there? What was going on? What was that?
Yeah,
Is that what that
really was.
Are you that needy?
I'm a little bit insecure about
Why are you
this,
insecure? Stop it.
Would I be an actor if I weren't?
I suppose so. There is a kind of desperate thing most actors and actresses give off, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's a thriller. It's a really good thriller. It's a small movie. We made it in Portland, one of the best cities in the world.
It's a very intense character you play in this. She's
I
kind
look
of...
really intense, don't I?
You do. You're very nice, very intense. Is she meant to be mad, or people think she's mad?
Her sister's been kidnapped in the beginning of the film, and she thinks by the same guy that kidnapped her, and she was able to get away. She thinks he's a serial killer, and basically she is kind of running from the law because the cops don't believe that there's anything wrong at all. And she's also carrying a firearm, which is illegal for someone who's been in a mental institution. Which is also a background of my character.
Even in America, they don't let people from mental institutions carry guns? I thought they were relaxed right across the board.
No, especially in America.
Okay, the film is Gone. It's coming out April the 20th. This is Amanda Seyfried in action.
This guy came back for me. He broke into my house, took my sister because I wasn't there.
Why would he come back for you?
I'm the only one that got away because I know his secret.
Last year, a hiker spots Jill covered in mud, screaming about how some guy snatched her out of bed, threw her down a hole out in the woods someplace.
Help! Please!
She said she wasn't the only one, that there were human remains down there. Of course, we throw everything at it. Guess what? Nothing.
He doesn't exist.
He's gonna kill Molly tonight.
Jill, it's all in your head. Go home and get some sleep.
I'll sleep when he's dead.
Gone as an intense psychological thriller. That's what it is. Okay. So that couldn't be more different from the look of it to a film like Mamma Mia. Here you've got a breezy film in the sunshine with Meryl Streep. There you're in the rain, running around with a gun, and it was pretty rainy the whole time you were filming, wasn't it?
It was rainy and cold. But I do remember some really good organic food.
Anna, you know what? You're not at all what I expected, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I found you just... No, because sometimes you meet... a lot of time actresses, but you're fun, and you're also kind of slightly mental, and that's really refreshing.
Thank you.
It's a nice thing. It's a lovely thing. How lovely. What a charming guest. Go and see Gone when it comes out. You see Amanda in action. The lovely Amanda Seyfried, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. That's Amanda. Join us after the break. I'll be joined by Freddie Flintoff, and we have music from the one and only Paul Weller. Don't go away. Welcome back. It's time for my next guest. He's one of the greatest sporting icons this country has ever produced. Will you please welcome the man mountain that is Freddie Flintoff. see you, sir. How are you? You're looking great.
I'm all right, thanks, yeah.
You look really well. Oh, there you go. How long, tell me now, how long is it since you gave up cricket, since your professional career ended?
I officially retired about a year ago,
Yep.
but not played since 2009. My knees packed in, everything finally caught up with me.
You had to stop.
And I had to stop, yeah.
Which is sad, of course, but at the same time, what a great ending to a great career as well. It couldn't have ended better for you in many ways, could it?
Yeah, it was all right. You know, I finished beating Australia for the second time in my career. But I thought it'd carry on a bit longer. I didn't think I'd be finished at 31. And I do miss it. I don't miss training or practicing or spending days stood in the field waiting for something to happen.
No. What do you do now, then? Do you still play for fun at all? Because I know that, for example, Tim Henman, I don't think likes playing tennis much anymore. You know, because he's... I know you're thinking maybe he never did. But no. But do you still enjoy the game? Do you pick up a bat and just join in with people?
I do, but my ambition's far better than my talent. I played a few charity games, and I'm at the point now where you go out and everyone thinks, oh, he's going to be all right, he's going to do this and that, and I'm shit.
I'm sure you're not.
I wasn't good towards the end of my career, so now I'm retired. I'm not very good, but I still enjoy it. I still enjoy playing.
Yeah. Let me ask you about the because you've hardly been sitting back on your backside. You've been doing so many different things. I've seen you on shows doing kind of like adventure stuff. You've been doing, I mean, you've been doing comedy as well, but extreme sports, that kind of thing as well. How did you get into that? Is this something you always wanted to do?
No, not at all. No. You know, since retirement, I've been lucky. I got a chance to do a series. I went through from Mexico through America, doing extreme sports, doing various things every day. I sell quiches for Morrison's.
That's not one of the extreme sports, is it?
But it's free though, because it's like my kids are young. My kids are 7, 5 and 3. And they see all the dads go to work and they think, well, what do you do? And I try and explain I play cricket. But they see me on TV selling quiches. They think I'm the quiche man.
If you make a pie, they will come.
Oh, they'll come. They'll come.
Oh,
They'll be there.
Have a sandwich, and then Brucey just, how do the Jacks?
Good game, good game,
but that's weird. They must think it's because your personality now. And that is hard to explain what you do to little kids when you're doing that. So what would you consider to be your job now, if you had such a thing?
I don't know. My job is a dad and a husband, more than anything, but since retirement, I've had a chance where I went to Botswana and lived on my own for a week in the bush and filmed it myself. I just finished doing a series for Discovery where I've been to Africa, Australia, Borneo, and I've been put in these survival situations. I don't know what I'm doing.
It's like kind of like Bear Grylls with no knowledge.
With Bear Grylls with no idea whatsoever.
And yet you've survived.
I've survived somehow by the skin of my teeth. It's like in Botswana, I spent 7 days on my own, no food or water or anything. It was perfect, it was a detox. Well, I came out of it so much healthier.
Is it because you'd forgotten your bottle opener?
Yeah. I always thought, you go and see animals, go to the zoo or go to Knowsley Safari Park. I was a bit of an idiot on that one. And then when I saw them in the wild and saw them in a natural habitat, you know, I sounded a bit funny, but that's what I really enjoy. I've found